Good morning, people. Welcome back to the Red Devil Circle. Guys, this one is going to be exciting. It's going to be exciting, guys. We're going to be talking about the transfer, the striker position. And I'm especially excited about this one because I'm a striker myself. Um, I, I, I also play in the right midfield and left midfield positions, but I'm mainly a striker. So this one is particularly it's particularly nice for me to discuss about. So yeah, before we get into it, guys, take a second and subscribe to the channel. Let us know how we're doing in the chat. I love when we engage in the chat. So please engage in the chat wherever you're watching from. Whatever you call it, soccer, football, this is the best way to engage. I need your input in the chat so we can help do better things in this channel, in this community. That's what my goal is. So thank you guys for joining on this one. But yeah, we're gonna talk about the striker market. So let's get into it. I mean, it's been a bit more exciting this morning than it's been for a couple of weeks now at Manchester United. Um, my excitement in the sense that this is a position we really need, and from the looks of it, we have no options at all. We went to this transfer window trying to get the lap. We're looking at Osimhen, who was there in the options, trying to get Mateta, trying to get Gyökeres. All that options burned, absolutely burned. Um, of course, that's with the latest news now coming out that Liverpool are interested in Mateta, and they'll be able to get him for about 43 million or so, which was someone who was also further down the options for us, but it's still a loss. It still feels like a loss because we're just losing out on the striker market, left, right, and center. But I am not really concerned with the Mateta one because I really don't rate his play. I really don't rate how he plays. You know what I mean? So I'm not very concerned with that. But the exciting part of this morning update is that Fabrizio has come out and reported that Vlahovic has been offered to Manchester United. And that is exciting because it reminds me of a deal we could do similar to the Vegas deal, in the sense that there's a year left on Vlahovic's contract. About a week ago, they tried to terminate his contract, but that will cost them a lot of money. And Vlahovic obviously wants to be paid all of his money outright. So I'm guessing they haven't been able to do that. That's why they're coming to us and offering Vlahovic. There's a lot of wheels that have to be in motion here. There's a lot of wheels in motion already in this play. There's a lot of things we could do surrounding the striker deal. So we can either try to help Juventus with their garbage and taking Vlahovic from Juventus. Obviously, there's a year left in this contract. They haven't been able to terminate it outright, and they're offering him to us now. I think we could take advantage of a loan deal there, similar to what we did with Vlahovic. Not exactly similar, but we took Vlahovic on a loan deal, which didn't work out. In this particular one, I think we could pay some of his wages and let Juventus pay a percentage of Vlahovic's wages, which offers both of us some financial gain. You get what I mean? We're paying part of his wages. No one is really getting it. It's a scratch my back, scratch your situation. It's a win-win. So if we can get a loan deal for this player, it won't be too much of a risk. But if they're trying to sell him on a permanent transfer, then that's a no-go. But I feel like this is a positive situation. He's a striker that used to be a renowned striker in the market. He used to be one of the best. He used to be well thought of. He has a point to prove. He could offer us a stopgap for us to be able to go do something better that we need in the striker market. Because coming into this window, we knew the striker market was important. But now we're caught in a position where any deals that we do right now will be absolutely freaking desperate. We can't do that. We can't do any desperate deals and leave a choice for long-term failure. Leave a choice, a similar situation where we could be stuck with another player like a Garnacho or a Rashford. Just not even Garnacho. Garnacho is a bad example. Like a Rashford or Casemiro. And in this situation, it's hard to get rid of them because they're under long contracts and the money we're paying them is too big. So this offers Manchester United and Juventus an option. It offers us. I can't get my words out. Offers us a win-win situation here, and that's why I say there's a lot of wheels in motion. It's gonna bring me nicely to my next point, because the deal with Colomwani, the loan spell with Colomwani is over after the Club World Cup, which has just ended. So Juventus will be looking, according to reports, to get another year loan for him, for Mwani. It doesn't look like they're going to sign him on a permanent transfer. I'm not sure the reason for that. But instead of us trying to help Juventus with their garbage, we could swoop in for Mwani and get a permanent deal from PSG, who are likely to accept that instead of... Keep looking at my speaker because the battery is low and I don't want it to die on me. This is the second time making this, so yeah. Anyway, they're PSG are likely to take a permanent transfer for Colomwani because that's more lucrative for them because they get a good fee for it than taking a loan deal for Colomwani to Juventus. So we could swoop in there and give them good money for Mwani, or decent money for Mwani. Try not to get bent over like we did last time on the Ugarte deal, which was absolutely outrageous considering the fact that he wasn't even being involved in the team. He didn't play at PSG, so that was an absolute destructive deal from Ineos, surprisingly. So I rest my case on that one. That was a stupid deal. Even when they did it, I said it doesn't make sense to offer 50 million for a guy who is hardly featured in the team for PSG. So yeah, we can't go get rinsed by PSG on this deal. So I'm hoping that if we're gonna do that, we're a bit smarter with it, or if we have a better idea in mind for a striker. Obviously we're not in a situation to rush into other things now. Like I said earlier, Vlahovic could be a good option for a stopgap, having a point to prove, being previously one of the best strikers in the market. He could come in and try to prove a point, try to stay injury free. We could offer him a year contract like we did with Valvegas. So it could be a similar stunt to the Valvegas deal, and that could be beneficial to both parties, which is Juventus and Manchester United. Getting his wage bill divided in that way on a year contract could help us. So yeah, I feel like you're throwing a dog a bone in this situation. like I've said, it's it's just like a situation. It's beggars can't be choosers. That's what I'm trying to say. So it's like, I mean, obviously sometimes beggars are choosers. I remember myself personally offering someone $3 on the roadside, and he demanded the $10 that was in my hand. I was like, what? You know what I mean? Like, I'm giving you money and you're demanding more. Like, I'm giving you what I can lend out, not lend out, what I can afford to give you, but you're asking for more. Like, you don't have that option. You know what I mean? And I was just like, what the hell? And I just walked off. I didn't take the money back, but I just walked off. Like, you exact beggars can be choosers. But yeah, that's the situation we're in. Um, in this striker market, we literally have $0, and someone's offering you $1. You're offering a dog a bone. You cannot choose if the bone is a bison bone or a freaking chicken bone, bro. Um, a bone is a bone. We gotta take it. We gotta take this. If we're not gonna go in for Colomwani, because that's a way better option, in my. It's more of a long term option than anything. But if we want to be more meticulous with this striker thing, and maybe try to go for it in the next transfer window, then Vlahovic could offer the stopgap that we need, so we're not making any mistakes going forward. Because as we can all tell, we're in a very sticky situation, because other clubs are building for the future and getting a lot stronger, and we're falling behind. So our deals need to be very, very spot on. Umbuemo is looking like it's gonna be done. There's no reports that the deal might fall through. There's positive about that deal getting done. Some people are making some guessworks that Wednesday might be the day that we get the deal done, because there's gonna be an away kit release from Manchester United. But let's see. I just want him to get embedded into the team during the preseason tour. It's already been long. We've been talking about this deal. 6 weeks, 7 weeks. Just get it done. Just get it done. And the thing about having Mbuemo and Cunha is that we get more creativity. I don't know if I've said this before. Our play gets better. Our decision making gets better in the final third. But there's still a lot of loopholes in that team. The midfield, for one, very, 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 very important situation, which moves me nicely to my next topic. Obviously, I'm not going to stay on this too long, but the midfield is so important. Obviously, we need a decent goalie at least, but I feel like it's a lot better to build from the back. The midfield should be the next thing we go for after Mbuemo, in my opinion, because if we can get Vlahovic as a stopgap, that'll give us something to work with, because you have a lot of creative players now in the front, and you need someone to get on the end of things. But if we remember Manchester City before the window where they were interested in Cristiano Ronaldo, and then Manchester United swooped in and got the deal done last minute for sentimental reasons. Manchester City was playing very well. I think they had won the league before. I strongly believe they did, because they had won it like 4 times in a row, and even without a striker, mind you, it was so obvious that they needed a striker, but they were playing such a good football because they had such good foundation, and every other team in the Premier League seem to understand the importance of having a strong midfield than Manchester United. I do not get it. Every top club reinforcing strongly in the midfield. Arsenal, Manchester City, very upon all the success they've had. Look at that midfield position over the last years. They keep on reinforcing that midfield. They know the importance of having a good midfield. And like I said, that year they wanted Cristiano Ronaldo when they didn't have a striker. They didn't have Haaland. It just they were still dominating. It just shows you how important the midfield is. It cannot be overstated. We need that midfield done. I feel like it's more important than the striker position. But here we are again off of Vlahovic. It should make the deal a bit easier to do. And according to reports from Fabrizio Romano, we're focused on the Bueno deal now. So there's no negotiations for Vlahovic. So that's the situation we're in. I've not had any news on the striker in Saudi, Mitrovic, but I'll not sniff anywhere near that because, it's not that I wouldn't take him in a short-term thing, but I feel like I'll rather gamble with Vlahovic. Mitrovic is a good option, but if you look at the Club World Cup, obviously there's no line that the Saudi club did very well. The Saudi clubs did very well. How are we gonna lose Ronaldo and then go for Mitrovic? Ronaldo is miles better. The stats are there in the Saudi league. His pace, you can argue, is probably better than Mitrovic with a beer belly. So that's all I'm gonna say on that. We cannot be going backwards. If we don't have Ronaldo, we left Ronaldo out. He's clearly the best striker in the Saudi league, in my opinion. So I wouldn't be going for Mitrovic when we just sold something better that we had. You know what I mean? It just seems a bit like a backward movement. So yeah, that's my take on that. I rest my case. But that's all the news I have for you right now. I might come out and speak more about any updates that might be given to us soon or later in the day. But thank you guys for staying on. I hope you enjoy this. Catch you guys on the next one. Peace out.